Yes, people. Let me go over here quick. Actually, no, I'll stay here. Why not? But big up everyone that's in here. Make sure you smashing the like button. We've got a different concept for you. Usually it's Chronicles, but this time around we're going to be talking about overrated and underrated players, and we've all got lists. Daps will be joining us very soon in the next 10 or so minutes. You know, when you got a flat tire, you got a flat tire. You get me? But big up obviously Monts in the building. Looks knackered. Jordz and it looks like he just woke up too. And Mo literally has woken up. And I can't lie, I woke up about 2 hours ago. So we're the sleepy guys right now.
What a fucking panel. I woke up 2 minutes ago, but yeah, told him 2 hours though.
Yeah, it must be nice for you guys. I've been working since 8 a.m. So
it
doesn't get like that.
Man just got home from work. If you man want me to look like a school kid, then I'll be on time looking like a school kid.
I'm living the fucking life, bro. I'm in Miami. I'm living the life.
It must be nice.
Can you hear this bastard? So how's my... all right, before we get stuck, tell us about a little bit Miami. I've never been there, Mo.
What, you enjoying that spring break, Mo? You
I'm actually not. It's Ramadan, so I'm not doing anything here. I'm not fasting because I'm traveling, but I went to the pool. I go to the beach.
You've been away for ages. You've been away for ages, Mo. Like
no, it's just since Friday. I'm tagging along. My wife has a conference. She's presenting.
How you doing?
Just tagging along.
How you doing?
Right.
It doesn't matter how you're doing.
You remember that ones?
Listen, Miami, if you're single and you want clubbing, lots of shit going on around you, tons of weed around you everywhere, this is a place to be.
Wow. Is that how it gets? So don't say that people end up spending all their life savings on that. Be real.
Yes. And it's freaking expensive as fuck.
Monts, talk to me though, man. How's things in your life going? Not a lot of big six bands going on. You know, it's there yesterday though. But what to expect from obviously big six bands this week?
Just hella concept shows really. Towards the end of the week, of course, Man City, Liverpool, prep. I'm not really looking forward to any of that because you know how that game's probably gonna go. So, but listen, we're back and it's football. So, probably about 2-3 more concept shows, and then we'll get back to the Premier League stuff. And obviously, we should be doing a show this week about the sacking of Antonio Conte.
That's right. You just segued it right there. You know what I mean?
Jordz is always invited to, by the way. You're always invited.
Jordz, man, tell us how you feeling, man. Conte, the guy is gone, serial winner. The guy,
Do you know what? It's one of the ones where my personal feelings about this has been detached for a while because I've seen this coming. We knew Conte was going to get sacked for about the past week now. I was just waiting for the official announcement. It was announced last night. Surprised, disappointed. But it is what it is, man. I had to strip away the durag, put the bonnet on because everything's up in the air right now. Can't be wearing that. It's all too tight down there. So let's see it. Hopefully Nagelsmann in. Hopefully we get a new manager on the way in the next week. But
why would he join your club? Why would he join your club? Like why?
Why would Nagelsmann?
Yeah, if Chelsea might be available. Chelsea might be available for real. I'm being serious. I'm not
not available.
They might be available in the summer. Real Madrid might be available in the summer.
So out of all those other clubs, we have first shot at him. So it's whether he wants to wait until the summer to be battling with other candidates for other jobs, or he can be the top candidate for the Tottenham job and start getting paid as soon as possible.
Let me ask him something. If you're Nagelsmann, Jordz, would you join Spurs now? Honestly.
Would I join Spurs? I think it's a project that he can rip up and put his own spin on and do whatever he wants with the squad. I feel like Levy's going to come in and give him a bit more free reins than he has the other managers, because if he does come in, he's going to get a 3 to 4 year deal. It's not going to be it's not going to be a 12, 18-month contract like Conte, and it's not going to be a win now team because we know he's a project manager. So I feel like he'll get a bit more freedom. And I think it's a project that's very interesting. Is it right to choose Tottenham over Real Madrid? No, I wouldn't choose Tottenham over Real Madrid. But Real Madrid haven't sacked their manager yet. And until they make their intentions clear regarding him, I don't feel like he's going to think he's the number one runner for that job, because there is other managers that they can bring in. So he wants to go to a job where a team wants him and he likes the team. It's apparently known that he owns a Tottenham shirt. He has a replica shirt because he used to be a fan of Tottenham during the
Oh
Pochettino
my
days.
god! Oh
So,
my
wait.
god!
He maybe not been a childhood fan. He's not a childhood fan, but he was a fan of what Tottenham was doing during the Poch days. So he used to watch Tottenham. He used to like what we're doing, and we used to. He was the number one to replace the job at the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if he brings him in, and I'd be very happy.
Are we really doing this?
It's one of those ones, really. I mean, you didn't actually answer Mo's question, Jordz. You didn't even answer. You know, you went all around the block and then you went back round. You didn't actually answer his question.
Is he the right man for the job?
Do you join Tottenham? Yes or no?
I said yeah. Why would...
It's mad.
You know what the maddest thing is, yeah, with my man in it, Nagelsmann, like he found out he's getting sacked on social media. I had to come in the next day to get officially sacked. Got dumped by his wife, and then now he's being linked with Tottenham. How can life get any worse?
Who's that?
It's mad.
Nagelsmann.
Do you know she used to leak? Yeah. Do you know she used to leak the tactics of Bayern Munich in the press?
Wait, she's the one that leaked his tactics.
Yeah,
and then
she's a journalist.
Is that fact, Mo? Is that fact?
Oh yeah. There's about 3-4 articles about this.
Big up.
She's a journalist, and she leaked the
some of the comments. Because Monts, you're going to be straight up first up with your first, obviously overrated 6. So let me explain the concept because I didn't do it. So all of us in the panel plus Daps, who isn't here yet, we picked 6 players. So 1 player from the top 6 clubs, 1 overrated, and 1 underrated. So we're gonna go through that and we're gonna dissect it a little bit, and then we'll see what you guys think. We got Mixed Mitchell. I wouldn't say Martinelli's overrated, but Arsenal fans have gassed him up a bit too much this season. Nunez has been unfairly criticized, but he plays for Liverpool, so it's expected. Bailey says, big up all, smash the like, big up. Gunes, he says, smash the like button. Guys, if you're here, 100 of you already, smash the like. We're going to be running this very soon. Big up Dylan says, Martin needs to learn how to dribble with his head up. Look, the thing is, we can do stats all day long, but, you know, Garnacho's only got like 4 GA less than him, if you didn't know that. As well, if you want to play stats game, this is what I don't. I had a massive.
If you want to play the stats game, the first man to mention the stats.
Yeah, exactly. So no, because you know what it is, it'll be like, oh, but he scored 1 goal less than Rashford. I'm like, okay, and in the Premier League, but Martinelli will overtake Rashford in goals this weekend. Oh, there you go. Big up Terence, Salam, Kas Underrated. Oh, damn. Walaikum salam, my guy. Big up Faith. Faith. I don't know if you're a he or she, but I'm gonna imagine or they. I'm going to imagine you're a she. Martinelli is Arsenal's top scorer. He doesn't have a left-back link-up with. Saka is good, but isn't as good if Ben White's not playing. Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll talk about it. We'll explain it. We'll talk about it.
Chelsea OG says a few years of consistency is what really determines a world-class player is. I think Saka's pretty much going to get that. Big up Amy says, good morning from USA. Big up yourself. And Neil Gunner, I see you. Big up Reese as well. And more people. United Spurs of America. I just bear you, man. AJ Valentino says he's literally out top scorer in the title winning team. But yeah, man, no, it's just you can still be sick, but you can still be overrated. Rashford is doing sick, but some may say he's still overrated, even though he's got all this GA and stuff like that, even though he's got a clutch gene in him at the moment, scoring in the final. This is what it's all about. But Monts, you're first up, my guy.
Of course. I'm ready.
This is Monts' overrated 6. 1 from each top 6 club. He's got Edison from Man City, Aaron Ramsdale from Arsenal, Thiago Silva from Chelsea, which is surprising. You're not the only one that put that there, by the way, I don't think. Diogo Dalot, I'm very much with you there, my guy. Kulusevski and Darwin Nunez, of course.
Right.
Go on, let's go for it. Go for it.
By the way, I've obviously lost my voice, so people who think I sound different and stuff. But who do I start with? Ramsdale. I'll start from the back. We'll go Ramsdale in it. First of all, I think Ramsdale has been good. You can still be good, but like overrated in it. And I think Ramsdale, as much as has he got the most? Is it 12 clean sheets drawn with Nick Pope? I believe. Someone tell me if I'm wrong there. But like, bro, Ramsdale for me, for certain shot stopping situations, unreliable. Doesn't convince me sometimes. I don't know. You guys might think I'm being harsh. I think he's been beaten. He's allergic to his near post at times. The goal in the halfway line goal for me as well. That one stands out. The Aston Villa goal, one from the corner. I don't think he's commanding enough from corners. I just think that for me, Ramsdale, he's still developing and he's still young. but I don't think he's been the top keeper in the league like everyone says he has. In my
So
opinion,
you think Ramsdale's stature in the league between fans are bigger than what he actually is? This is exactly what I said.
100%. I think De Gea. I mean, De Gea has been phenomenal this season. Even though he's not been great with the ball at his feet, I think Nick Pope's obviously been up there as well, and I also think Alisson's been better than him as well. So
where would you rank him, Monts, in terms of goalkeepers in the league? I'm going to put Nick Pope,
right
De Gea, Ederson, Alisson. There is Pickford. There is Jose Sa. All these. Where would you rank him?
He probably sits fourth. Fourth for me. Probably sits fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah. I'd say he sits fourth for me.
Hi, Daps.
Ederson better than him?
Hi, Daps.
This season, yeah. This season,
I don't know if you're ready
Better
to
than
go.
who?
This season, yeah. This
Better
season.
than who?
But not in Ederson.
Ramsdale. He's saying
I say
Ederson is better than Ramsdale.
What you think Ramsdale, apart from this season, you think Ramsdale's better than Ederson?
No, we're talking about this season. Is it?
Just this season, I think he's been a bit better than Ederson. Just this season.
Yeah, maybe.
But Ederson's the better keeper by quite a way.
So hold on. Ederson is the better keeper, not Ramsdale.
Yeah, he's the better. Ederson's the better keeper, 100%. But I think Ramsdale, for me, this season has been better than that. I say I rank him maybe fourth, third in that region for me. But but like people are going on like he's number one, and for me, he just hasn't been convincing enough. I don't know. Do you man think I'm wrong with the Ramsdale shout? Or
what about being overrated?
Overrated. Yeah.
No, I think I put him as my underrated.
We'll get into that. But what Diogo Dalot though, that's kind of surprising because I think he's been rated quite fairly, but there's a big larger fan base that think he's better than he is. Because for me, as Flawless said, and I agreed, we both said at the same time, there's nothing that he really excels at when we deep it. Think about Dalot's greatest abilities, what he's the best at. What does he really excel at?
You couldn't tell me.
Exactly. He had a good start of the season though. Like at the start of the season, he was very good. He had his patch, and then now he's been flopped. Like I can't lie. I think he is over. I think he can make the overrated list. I think if I chose it, it would be a bit too obvious though.
He looks good though, Kas. Looks good on the ball. Absolutely fantastic aesthetically. Runs with the ball really well. He's so good.
Give me something that he's has. All right, cool. With the low, then anyone here, Jordz, Daps, even yourself, tell me anything that the low gives an 8 out of 10, even an 8 out of 10 in just one area.
Nah.
He's a bunch of 6s and 7s, if not 3s.
But do you know what it is, though? Do you know what it is? But people sometimes say that about, like, I don't know, a Ben White. But the difference is, I think, is that with Darlow, no, they do though. They say Ben White doesn't excel at anything. But his is still like 7, 8s. Where I think,
but Ben White's it's
consistent, isn't it?
Giving you 7s. He's consistently giving you 7, and sometimes he might give you an 8 in a 1v1 duel or something like that. Do you get what I mean? Maybe even heading. You get what? There's a little bit more, and it's mad.
What? Boy to boy, it's just because you lot had Wan-Bissaka, and then when he stepped in, you know when you have shit. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka's improved now, but when you have a shit right back or a right back who is playing shit for a while, and someone who's average comes in, you're not going to see him as average, are you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what it is with Wan-Bissaka, yeah. Like this is what I'll go off of.
Just Nando's going to take like flipping Nobu.
For me, no one thought Wan-Bissaka would be able to keep possession as well as we thought he would, or passing, even driving, taking the 1v1s. No one thought that was going to happen. But the difference with Wan-Bissaka, I'm not saying he should be Man United starting, but he actually excels at 1v1 defending, and that's just something, and that gives you an edge. And if you can do everything else on a consistent level, just that little bit more then.
Do you know we know that he's overrated, bro? I swear back, like literally just before the World Cup, there was a Baggerman, Ty, you were leading it, that was saying, best right back in the world.
No. So we were talking about, this is what I mean. No one talks about overall ability, but on form at that current time, Ben White was up there, Dalot was up there. A lot of players in the right back. When you think of fullbacks in this actual in Europe, stink.
Bro, but I'm sorry, but if you're putting Dalot in like best in the world,
on form.
Either way, if at some point he's got into the best in the world conversation, overrated.
Yeah, but you can be best. You can be best in the world on form, by the way. Like that is
But
allowed.
that automatically
like you man just dash the title. You just dash the title. You were so quick to do it. Why were you so quick to dash? Like it's like you man were starving.
Yeah.
You're starving.
No, Bear Man has been starting, but there's another one which I'm. All right, talk to me with the last two. We don't even need to talk about Darwin Nunez really, because I think most people know your thoughts on that. But Thiago Silva, Kulusevski.
No. I don't think everyone knows my thoughts on that one. I think that one still needs explaining briefly.
All right, go off.
We'll talk about the other ones first. Go on.
But yeah, Kulusevski. I don't know. George might be looking at this thinking, "What are you on about, bro?"
It's just.
You know what?
Go on.
Go on.
No. Jordan knows that's your plan.
No, you have to do your explanation first. Your list, go for it.
The reason I say Kulusevski, remember, when someone's overrated, it doesn't mean they're a bad player. Let me get that one straight. Kulusevski is a very good player. But my thing is that because Tottenham have been, because it's been Harry Kane, Son, and then fat ass drop off to anyone else who's there, it's either Lamela or Lucas Moura or who's the other one? Who's the other one I was playing? I don't even
Can't really say Lamela.
Like, no. I'm just saying.
How you know Lamela left 2 seasons ago?
Yes, bro. But hear me out with what I'm saying in terms of your front three. It's Harry Kane, Son, and the drop off below those two has been monumental for any third attacker for your club. Right. So now that Kulusevski's come in, there was immediate comparisons to Bukayo Saka. I was hearing he was better than Saka, and them cannot deny that. They were telling me he's better than Saka. They were also telling me he's better than Diaz by quite a mile. Them were also giving me GA arguments for Kulusevski. Because someone told me Kulusevski's GA. Now,
for this season, it's probably like 8 or something.
Probably like 8 or something. Do you see what I mean? So again, it's the same argument with Darlow. When you've had, I don't know, out of date Morleys for 5 years, and you taste an okay Nando's meal, it's gonna taste like that fresh steak. It's gonna taste like that Nobu, bro.
How are you saying out of date Morley's for 5 years?
Do you know what I'm saying? It's gonna taste like that Nobu, bro.
All right, bro. So this is what you're saying, yeah.
You know
let me tell you this once. You
think good player, though.
Because this season he hasn't performed as much as he did last season, mainly due to Tottenham as a team falling off heavily. We concede a lot more goals. We concede a lot more goals, but we still score at a high rate. Kulusevski has still created just as many chances, been Tottenham's main creator and Tottenham's best attacking outlet whenever Tottenham are playing, regardless of his personal form. He's still Tottenham's best attacking outlet.
Hold on. Monts, did you say why hasn't Kane fell off?
Yeah.
He has.
Yes, 23 goals.
He was last season. Kane has got, correct me if I'm wrong, Kane has got 2 or 3 assists all season. Kane has fell off this season. I'm not saying he's now rubbish.
No, but that's the reason he hasn't, because the game's changed. The game's changed because he's required to do less of what he was last season. And it's not even that. It's Tottenham's front three isn't contributing as much as it was prior. So the players that he was assisting and creating the chances for just aren't being as clinical. And that's the same thing with Kulusevski. Kulusevski's creating these chances. Tottenham just aren't being as clinical. And as to why his numbers have dropped, he hasn't performed as good as he did last season. But I don't know. I don't think he's overrated. I think that the Saka shouts and the comparisons were rightly so. And they will continue to be as he goes on into the next season when he continues to improve.
As I said,
he hasn't fallen off. He just hasn't performed as good as he did last season due to the team. But again, Saka's had a great season. Great to him. He's had a better season than him. We'll revisit this convo next season because Kulusevski had a better season than him last year. So, it's fine.
And last one, Monts Darwin Nunez, man. Come on.
I listen, just George. I do hear what you're saying, yeah, but bro, less of the Saka stuff. Like, first of all, for one, please. Like, I don't see that happening. And also, you also said he's got the most chances created, or almost as much as the most chances created. Salah has the most chances created year in, year out for Liverpool. No one calls him a creative player. No one reverts to that when he's not scoring a goal or when he bums it out. So
Salah's different.
Huh?
Can we get one thing straight? See, Starboy, can we just all agree in context that should be left for 21 and unders? And if you've already made, now, if you're sick, not like the way Saka's been doing stuff, is he a man or is he a boy?
He's a man. I couldn't call him.
He's up there in the league, so he's not a star boy no more. Foden is not a star boy no more. He's a man. They're made. Get it?
Yeah, established players.
Can we call that cool? And I'm just for
made
people.
Made men.
Starboy should be for under 21s then.
Starboy would be like Loftus Cheek and people like that.
Lingard.
Lingard is even better.
Oh man,
Lingard is better than Loftus.
All right, Darwin Nunez though, Monts, man. Last little segment because obviously we got to
So
wrap it.
Lingard and Loftus the type that's still playing the under 21.
I'll keep the Nunez one short. I'll keep the Nunez one short because obviously Thiago Silva's people are just still cussing me for Thiago Silva. I'll keep Darwin Nunez one short. It's that, bro. Like whatever way you look at it, we're in April. We're about to be in April. 8 Premier League goals, 80 million pounds. You do
Monts, and the other one you need to talk on. How many assists?
I actually don't know how many assists you got.
I think it's 2.
Is it 2? I don't know.
It's 2 or 3. I think Kane's got 2 and Nunez has got 3.
I can get these stats.
Oh no, Nunez got 3. No, he's got 3.
Nunez has got 3 assists. So this is the other thing that chances created as well, by the way.
Yeah,
Monts, I'm sorry. You don't think Darwin Nunez is actually underrated?
No, overrated.
I can't lie though.
You don't think that people?
No, fuck this. No, fuck that. Stop celebrating mediocrity. Stop it.
But they are actually rating him as a crap player. They are rating him as a crap player.
No. Mo, he's not crap. He's a decent player. But why are man giving him a bly? Because he's a Liverpool player. That's why we do this. We're celebrating mediocrity and just disregarding the price tag and disregarding the expectations. And when he's not met expectations, man, are telling me 16, 17 goals in the Prem.
Can't lie though.
Right now we're averaging 10 million per goal.
He's only played 1,300 minutes in 20 games, which is quite low.
I'm sorry, Monts, but to be honest,
what do you mean?
Look at this season. Look at this season and the slender this kid got. And then now we're now April. We're almost April.
He's been average. Bro.
Absolutely, he's been average. But he has been labeled as a shit player, and he has been average. So he's underrated.
No, he's also been. Hold on, Mo, but you have to remember, and this is where Monts is coming from. By the way, I've got him in mind as well as overrated, and the reason is what Monts is saying is like, yeah, do you know what? If all that was happening is what you just said, that people were slandering him, rivals were slandering him, but that's not what Monts is talking about. Everyone has different reasons for why they're putting everyone in overrated. And I think me and Monts both agree is the fact that people are coming out here trying to go, oh, no, but you know what? Apart from that, I'd actually rather have him from Haaland. Apart from the goals, I'd rather have him than Haaland because the chaos he causes is mad and all that crap. That is.
No, I never said that. I never said that.
Not you, but what it is that the people, the predominantly Liverpool fan base that are trying to defend him and make out actually try and like. Imagine if he did a celebration, it was a backflip. Liverpool fans would be basically saying he's decent because he did a backflip, right? Just to have something to cling on to put him good at something.
Bro, it's a forest. They're searching in the forest for things to commend him for.
Yeah,
like, as I said, it's a celebration of mediocrity of things you are supposed to do as an attacker. That is my gripe with it. And
so is it only the price tag, Monts? Only the price tag.
It's
only the price tag.
It's not, bro. It's not only the price tag. You've come in for 80 million. We're laughing at Anthony. We laugh at all these players. We laughed at Timo Werner for 3 years, bro. We're doing the same shit, making runs and causing problems. So why are we now celebrating it? That's an Arsenal.
How is he overrated? Can you just let me? How is he overrated?
That's an Arsenal. What we're doing. That's an Arsenal fan thing. What we're doing with Nunez, bro. And it's embarrassing at times. We're averaging 10 million per goal. Take it in, bro. Take it in. I don't want to discount his price.
Yeah, when you put it this way, yes, but I don't think anybody is rating him in the league.
Where's Chaos got us? Where's Chaos got us? 6th. What the fuck, fam?
That's worth 5 million. 5 million a game, Chaos. 5 million a game.
Let's move on.
He's been decent at best, and that's it, bro. Average. Like I'll say average, bro.
All right. Well, guys, if you're in here, there's 200 of you. Make sure you're smashing the like button. For people that don't understand the concept, we're doing an overrated player, one overrated player from each top 6 club, and one underrated player from each top 6 club. And Monts has just done his. I think this is my one. I've got Edison in there because you know what, I'm gonna be honest. I struggled to think of an Arsenal and Man City player for this season. If I'm being totally honest,
you went for such an easy option, Kaz, man.
Yeah, no. I went for one. Sorry, I spelled even Emil Smith Rowe's name wrong. But what's it called? I didn't know who to really choose. I know who Mo's gonna go for and others gonna go for, but I wanted to go for one that I thought, you know what, I've got got a chance here. Christian Romero, they called him a Rolls Royce. The guy is flipping bang average, bro. The guy is bang average, fam. You could even find the parts to fix this bastard. Like he's just he's like Tarkovsky and them, man, bro. He's just as good.
Can't find the parts because they're so rare.
But,
they're so rare and they get better over time.
Edison, I put him in the overrated. I think his save percentile this season is not great, but I like Edison. I like his distribution. It could be better. Kai Havertz. Oh my, this guy's had 4 years?
No one rates Kai Havertz though.
Yeah,
they do. Oh my god!
Are you guys serious? Someone rate Kai Havertz? Kai Havertz is a good player.
Havertz is like the most rated Chelsea player. They keep going on about him being the top goal scorer.
I feel like the consensus.
Him and his 10 goals in 3 years.
The one goal he's living off of still from the Champions League.
Wait.
That's all he talks about. He bangs on about Havertz.
Hold on. Can I check something? Let me check something.
It's the amount of time. It's the amount of time he was allowed to land.
Wait. So if Havertz is so all right, he's got 1 goal less than Nunez in the Prem. So
no, because the thing is,
if I talk on that,
Monts, do you know you just summed up the issue there? Yeah. Why are you comparing Havertz to Nunez when this is Nunez's first season in the Premier League? This is like Havertz's 4th or something, right?
Havertz is shit though, not shit.
And Havertz has been allowed to circle and circle and circle. He's never landed, and he's still getting away with it.
He's living off the Champions League goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still living off it still.
Yeah, this is what I mean about Havertz. Like, he's just like he gets away with so much. By the way, guys, again, if you have just joined, it's 1 player from each club only. One player, not 2 or 3 or collective. It's 1. Can you not see the?
I got a bone to pick with Gakpo. I got a bone to pick. You treat Gakpo like I treat you.
I went for Luke Shaw, yeah. So no, sorry, let me know. I went for Luke Shaw. The reason being, I can understand Luke Shaw is having a very, very good season. And I'm one to gas him up in that. But if I'm being realistic, Luke Shaw is never going to be a world beater the way people make him out to be. I'm sorry, but he won't. I think he's very good. He's having a very good season, but I can see limitations to his game, and I still think he's sick. But it doesn't mean you can't be overrated even when you're sick, right? Right?
I mean, he's still in at centre back. So
yeah. That's what I'm saying. But for me, I think this fan base thinks he's something immense, bro. Like immense.
Bro, can I just throw one out there then, right? And I don't know. I think someone had him in. Someone else on this panel's got him in as overrated. But if you're going to say that, Luke Shaw's had 2 good seasons, like not just 1 good season. Let's be clear, 2, because he had that one where all of you, including you, we're calling him Shawberto Carlos, right?
He's had a few good seasons.
He's had a few good seasons, right? Yeah. So therefore, if we're talking all a player needs is a few good seasons, and you're putting Luke Shaw in overrated based on that, then Marcus Rashford is overrated.
Oh, I know this.
Because but by the moment,
by that logic, guys.
I think the logic is so simple. If a player is giving you a 6 or 7 every year, which is good, and he gives you one year of an 8, you won't say he's world class. He's not the best fullback in the world. And I know where Kas is coming from. Kas is saying, yes, he has had good seasons and stuff, but he's not Roberto Carlos. He's not Cafu. He's not
Carlos.
He's not these guys. And some of Man United fans are actually putting him as, oh my God, he's like Ashley Cole level. He's like Patrice Evra level.
No,
they're like,
Twitter,
this guy's the next big thing.
No, that must be Twitter, man. That must be Twitter, man.
You know what?
But that's a big fan base. Mons. It's a big fan base.
Man said, who is Roberto Carlos though?
Ted,
please tell me you're lying there. I'm going to be
honest. Someone say who's Roberto Carlos?
Roberto Carlos.
Hey, football's not for you, bro.
The thing is, I could easily put. I went through everyone's list and I'm trying to put different players to spark debate. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure most of us would put probably the same kind of players. So that's why I'm pointing it there. Emil Smith-Rowe, my last look, just to wrap my players up because we've got other lists. Emil Smith-Rowe. Again, another player that's been allowed to land. Oh, he's been injured. Wait till he comes back. We don't need another player. We got Emil Smith-Rowe. Like, they keep thinking that he's going to be this thing that keeps coming back and being amazing because they're living off a half-decent season from last year. Was it last year, I think? That's why I put Emil Smith-Rowe there. I think Arsenal fans gas this guy up to be... For me, he's just look, I think he's okay. I think he's an okay.
Do you know why Arsenal fans need to accept it?
Todd Cantwell, bro.
Well, if there's anyone... if there's any comments right now saying, but he's still young or any of that crap, yeah, the truth of the matter is, Emil Smith-Rowe is older than Saka.
Yes,
and you know what?
A lot of
He's a Tottenham fan, so bring him to the lane and get rid of him at Arsenal.
Oh, and Sen came back to his childhood club.
And I think it's also because you got the 10 goals last season as well.
Living off of it.
Yeah.
No, let's not say he's been. To be fair, he's been injured for a lot of this season, and
it doesn't matter. You can still overrate him.
No, don't say. Bro, if a man's injured, bro. Kaz, if a man's injured, bro, what do you want him to do? Obviously,
people think he's going to be the next. Oh, bruv.
No, hold on, Kaz. Hear my argument. In the team he scored 10 goals in, that Arsenal team is way behind the Arsenal that we are seeing now. So if he's had an injury off the back end of that season, and the team he's coming back to is now fighting for the title, I don't think any youngster then fights their way back into a team that's playing that well for the title, no matter what the circumstance.
Yeah, that's a very good point, you know.
So let me give you an example, Monts. Thiago Alcantara, absolutely brilliant ability. Is he overrated or underrated for you?
100% overrated.
Exactly. Why? Because you can rely on him. Ability, I can get you a street baller. Okay?
Yeah, I can. Kaz answered that, not me. That was Kaz's voice. I know.
Okay. So let me ask you something. I can get you a. Go ahead. What? I can get you a street baller that is absolutely fantastic, but he cannot play most of the games. He gets injured all the time. What? Does that mean he's underrated or overrated?
Is Partey underrated or overrated? Asking me that.
Because Partey played most of this season.
He don't play much either.
I think you want my answer? I think Partey is overrated. Of course.
By the way, Monts, this is what I mean. Look,
injury is part of it.
Injury.
What is your say? Daps has a say. It's called
availability is an ability. Is that what you lot are doing? Is that
it's part of the deal, bro. It's part of the deal.
One sec. Is Pogba overrated?
The thing is, though, he's not always unavailable.
One sec. Jordz, let me ask you the question: is Pogba overrated? By his time at Man United. Oh, and what is
it wasn't because of his availability either. He just didn't perform at a good level.
He was also out every year.
I don't know why.
And it's also mainly because we saw him play at the level he was supposed to play for France. He'd go back to Man United 2 weeks later and play at a level far below. So that is why he was overrated.
And his availability.
Mo, first of all, Thiago, yes, should be available more. But even throughout his time at Bayern Munich, bro, Donny is averaging 25 to 28, 29 appearances a season. Liverpool, I think his first season was 24 and his second season was 25. So that hasn't actually changed. Thiago has never been the player to complete a whole season when he's fit. He's never been that player.
What? That goes back to when we first started Never a Foul, right? And we had this debate about...
Is that the Juan Mata one?
No. It was me and Ty, and it was me, Ty, and two Liverpool fans. And Liverpool had just bought Thiago, right? And I said, for me, and this was also the season, by the way, that Van Dijk got injured. And it was before Van Dijk got injured. And I said, for me, Thiago is not what Liverpool needs. And literally everyone started going mad, going, oh my God, you don't rate Thiago. I said, I didn't say that at all. Right, he's one of the players that I wanted when we got Pep. I think it was him and Alaba. I wanted Pep to bring, right? But when I looked at his availability and when I looked at the fact that they didn't have backup for Van Dijk, I was like, no, I don't think that is what they should have done. And when you look at it, he is getting a blind man. The amount of games he's missed for Liverpool when. He's getting a blind. He's getting away.
He's an amazing player, bro. He's an absolutely amazing player.
Let me do this now because you man acted like he's been doing this only at Liverpool. Again, at Bayern Munich, he was only completing 24.
He won a Champions League there, G.
No,
he was crucial. He was very good.
Stop moving the goal, bro. You're moving the goal, bro. I'm talking about appearances, and now you're trying to dash in the Champions League.
He was vital in a lot of these games, by the way. But go off, because I watched a lot of
We're talking about appearances, and you're now telling me about the fucking Champions League.
When he was a bit younger and more available for Bayern, don't get me wrong, he was injury
prone. He wasn't more available. Go look at his appearances.
In 3 years, he's won FA Cup and flipping Carling Cup with you, bro.
Okay, we need to go because we need to do Jordz. We need to do Jordz list because he's gonna leave. We need to do Jordz list because he's gonna leave.
So Daps is also, by the way, Daps has also got Emil Smith, bro. See, I'm not the only one that thinks. I didn't even realize you actually put it there.
Do you want to do Jordz first?
Can we do Jordz because he has to go?
Well, you don't have to go for like, yeah. All right, cool. We can. George, this is George.
To be fair, like I said, a lot of us have the same names, yeah. And I tried to go with a few names.
I can't believe you said Kyle Walker.
That's mad. Walker's in there. That's mad.
Yeah.
The one man that left you and won trophies, and you put him in overrated.
That is crazy.
I mean, Walker left us about 8 years ago. I think I'm over that now.
I'm getting bit.
I know, but
let's address this one first.
Let him have his say. Go ahead.
Kyle Walker, this over the past season has, for me, started to regress. He always has been just pure pace. Defensively, he's been okay, but his pace is what backed him up majority of the times. Now, I think we're starting to see other parts of his game really regress. His positioning is very bad. I mean, for me, like you've got the Man City defense. They're saving him a lot of the times, and so I think Kyle Walker's been over. Like only now, I think that he started to become overrated. I still think he's not playing at the level that he used to be. And over the past couple of years, he was one of the best right backs in the Premier League, but I don't think he's at that level now. And people still.
So he's not overrated then. He's only this year. You're meaning this year.
We're talking about this season overrated.
George,
this season.
George, but if I'm being honest with you, I have not heard one person rate Kyle Walker this season.
All right, Daps, but what we hear and what we see are two different things. Like I see stuff on Twitter contradicting that.
What,
I see people stay on Spaces contradicting that.
Fair enough.
And like you say, this isn't a whole wide thing. I don't think that he's a bad player. Kyle Walker's not a bad player. He's an aging player. He's not getting. He's not
having a good season. He isn't.
And he's not having a good season. But some people still put him up in the conversation. As
he was injured up until the World Cup, though. You got to remember, he was injured up until the World Cup.
He's only played around, I think, 17
games he's played all season. 17.
It's not. It's still good enough games for him to play. That's just on Kyle Walker again. That's my pick for Manchester City. But like you said, Manchester City is a hard team to choose. I didn't look at loads of players and think that there's many overrated players. I thought there was only 2 or 3 that I could name. Kyle Walker was just one of them. And that's me being picky. Sandro Martinez, though, one of the most overrated centre-backs in the world. In the world. In the whole of the world, all we hear about is how this guy is taking down the giants. He's doing this, he's doing that. He's changed the whole Manchester United back line. Little though, just a couple of weeks ago, he was getting skinned after a few weeks, and especially that game.
I think loads of players. I think every centre back this season is skinned once.
No. But whenever you guys have used the high line. Every time you guys have used that high line, Alessandro Martin has been the player to press on that striker. He's been getting turn. And for me, again, he's still another player that's been good this season. No one's going to sit here and be like he's been bad. He's not been a bad player at all. But the way that Manchester United fans have hyped him up, the way they've talked about him all season, has just been... and the fact that Kas tried to come for my boy Romero, knowing that he's got Martinez. Wait.
Martinez is hypocritical. Martinez is
Kas, let's be real. Right. So I actually have Martinez and I have Romero in there. Yeah. So both of you, the same thing. Kas, when we talk about Martinez, I always say, how will Tottenham fans, after one season of Romero, putting him as Rolls Royce?
It doesn't take one eyeball to see that Martinez is probably better than Romero in probably every flipping area. Every single area of the pitch and every blade of grass, he's better than him. Name me one thing Romero's better than him in. He's not even in pace. He's not even clear of pace. Go on.
No chance. That's why Romero starts.
Who starts for Argentina? Remind me.
Romero.
I think Romero does, but look at the difference.
Romero and Otamendi.
Mate.
Otamendi over Martinez, mad.
Mad. You see me?
That don't matter. We're talking
about Martinez has had a good season. No one's going to take that away from him.
Southgate prefers more players than Foden.
Yeah, but Kas, if you want to celebrate, you celebrate the fact that you've got a World Cup winner. Yeah, but it was Otamendi and Romero that won the World Cup.
Yeah, I get that. Mustafi won the World Cup and everything, but I'm just saying, Foden gets dropped by Southgate, and he's pretty much England's best player.
Kas, do you not agree that some Man United fans overrate him?
No, probably, maybe. I think Martinez's overration, you could say, is justified because people come for his hype. People call him this, that, and the other. He's had to prove bare people wrong.
He was underrated at the start of the season. You're right. He's now overrated. That's the problem. That is
It's
my
up to you.
problem.
It's up to you, innit? And there's another one there. Talk more on your list, anyways, because I need to do your underrated before you leave as well.
Shy
How
Havertz.
about Salah? No, we spoke about
Havertz.
Havertz. Salah. Chat to me.
Yes.
Chat to me.
All right. The last three Havertz. Salah.
No,
No, or should we call him no Salah, because he's only on 11 goals this season.
Bag the brace against your club.
This guy banged the brace against my club. Yeah, and he's disappeared 5 games in a row twice this season. The guy literally just disappears half of the season, and you act like, oh,
right,
Salah's doing good. Salah's having a good season.
Should I use your excuse to say most chances
you're in
created?
the position you are because you pay someone a certain 400k a week, and they've only got 11 goals. Every other season prior to that, he's outscored. He's outscored this season, and he's been on trajectory to get 20 plus. He's not going to get 20 plus this season.
Right.
He's had a poor season, and the position you are in the league reflects that. Mo Salah has been no Salah this season, and he's been overrated for the whole of his Premier League career.
All right.
The most overrated Premier League career.
I don't know how to say your name. I think I'm going to say your name's Amarit or Amarjit. I'm going to say that's a silent J. But I'm going to call you Amar if you don't mind. I just don't want to butcher your name. He says Salah outscored your striker, dude, ever since he joined Liverpool Football Club. Spurs fan deserves
depends.
Big up for the super
Depends
chat,
what the stat is. I mean, he's outscored Kane in a few seasons, but Kane's outscored him too.
Don't they have the same amount? Hold on. Don't they have the same amount of golden boots?
In what? In total?
No. Don't they have the same amount of golden boots?
Kane has 3 golden boots.
Big up the staff in the building.
How many does Salah have?
So he has 3.
Salah has 3.
He has 3 golden boots.
Okay, and what's your point?
He's also, you know, when Kane got the most goals in assists, Salah done that last year.
Hold the salad.
Wait, so what's your point? Kane done it first, bro.
Anything Kane's done it first.
Salah's done it. Kane done it first. So what's your point, bro?
Hold on.
What Salah's trying to keep up with what Kane's doing. It's not an accomplishment. It's not an accomplishment.
I should have just slapped Kane in this overrated thing, because anything Salah's done, Kane's done. Salah's done it with trophies. But anyway, apart from that, you said Salah has had a bad
should have done Kane as well, man.
By Salah's levels, he has had a bad season. I think we're in agreement at that, Jordz. Yeah. But what I would say,
by Salah's levels, 100%. But by the levels that you fans set for him, he's having a terrible season.
Yes. No, and I agree with that. But do you want me to use your excuse and say, oh, most
so is he not overrated this year?
No. Do you want me to use your excuse that you?
No, I want you to answer that question, because why is he wrong for being in my X side?
You don't want me to say this.
Why is he wrong for being in my X side? No, explain to me why he's wrong for being in my X side.
I said he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
By the way, Olu says Salah has the same first touch as Michael Owen. I mean, Michael Owen had a
very good first. Anyway, let's
Michael Owen was a baller.
It's not only about this season, George. It's about the player overall.
It is about this season.
It's this season, and yes, it's about the player, but the levels prior to this season.
Actually, no.
I didn't mind. Jordz, I don't mind you putting him in. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't even mind you putting him in. It's that comment you made about most of his whole career. Me and you will come back to.
I would happily do a whole show talking about Salah.
We'll do a whole show about that, and we'll do a whole show on that. And
any Salah slander.
It's going to end in a disaster for you, but we'll do that another day. My thing is that do you want me to use the same excuse that you use? Because what you're doing is you're doing the when it suits me FC right now. And the first excuse you use when I talked about Kulusevski, you said, "Look at the chances created. Look at the chances created." I could Salah's on his chances created is always one of the highest in the league when it comes to chances.
I'm pulling all that out right now. To be fair.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, do you want me to use that excuse as well?
All right, by the George,
last in the league. But
I'm not saying he has the highest in the league, but Salah always has a very high.
I need Jordz. I need to talk to me on Højbjerg before I get to your underrated 11 before you have to leave.
I want to hear Ben White as well. That's going to be an interesting one.
All right, I'll quickly go on Ben White before I go Højbjerg. Ben White, for me, hasn't been one of the best right backs in the league. Again, another good, my team's full of good players. They're all good players. None of them are having bad seasons. They're just been overrated. I've heard he's been the best right back in the league this season. I don't think so. I don't feel like going forward, he's as prominent as some of the other right backs in the Premier League. I think that for a player that's not playing in a position that he's not accustomed to prior to this season, he's been okay. Like, he's done the job. Defensively solid for Arsenal, and he's doing the back line very well. But going forward, he's not the same player. For me, right backs in this modern day and generation, you want your right backs to contribute going forward, and especially in an attacking final third. You need to have the good cross. You need to be able to take on a player, and I just don't think that Ben White's been that good overall. Of course, I am a bit biased. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really when I was looking at the Arsenal team, I was looking at a lot of players as overrated. A lot of them, because of their fan base this season. A lot of them just been talking a whole load of was, but Ben White was the man I went for because they keep talking about best right back in the league, and he ain't better than this right back over in North London. Let's get something straight.
Amar said,
hold on, which right back in North London?
What colour is Kane's PL and UCL?
Hold on, which right back in North London did you mean?
We'll talk about certain Pedro.
He's going to say Emerson Royale, innit? He's going to say Emerson Royale. This guy's shameless, man.
Do you mean the chicken burger
on a good day, who knows? Emil Højbjerg, yeah. I think Højbjerg has been for a while, I think he's been one of Tottenham's overrated players. I feel like a lot of fans a lot of rival fans mainly think that Højbjerg does a good job in midfield.
I don't.
And you know what? Yeah, I personally, it's taken me a while. It's taken me a while to get to this point because I've supported Højbjerg a lot of the times, but he seems like a man that does a whole lot of running and a whole lot of nothing else. He's going to be running around the pitch. He's going to be giving you the great speeches, the Viking this, putting a good challenge. But he gets beaten constantly in midfield. Players are running past him. He doesn't look like he's switched on at all times. And especially in the most recent weeks, I've seen a lot of clips where we've conceded goals and he's just standing in the middle of the pitch. He's standing there watching, ball watching. And especially because we've got no Bentancur, he's supposed to be the senior man in that midfield, leading us out, taking lead. And in our midfield, and Tottenham's midfield shit right now. We can't pass it around, we can't move the ball, we can't control possession, and that's mainly because this guy. So I feel like he's one of Tottenham's most overrated players. There is a few other players that are overrated, but for me, I've been meaning to get onto Højbjerg, and yeah.
And then I'm gonna go to your last one. Obviously, Daps. Why do you look so constipated?
Constipated, bro. I'm squinting at the screen because I've just been on a Squawker doing something quickly.
You need content.
He's trying to get some stats up.
Yeah, still. Hold on 1 second.
And then this is your underrated 11. I mean, underrated 11. This is your underrated 6. Just quickly.
By the way,
you know what, George? You're back in my good books.
Salah's better than Kane in shot accuracy, passes attempted, passes completed, pass accuracy. Kane's actually converted more and created, has a better conversion rate and better chances created this season. There we go. Anyway,
I'm surprised he's got better chance created. But
also Kane has better ball recovery and all of the defensive side. Kane is a lot better than Salah.
Of course. I mean, Rafael Varane's pretty self-explanatory. He had a bad year last year, man. He did have a bad year. A lot of fans were getting on to him about how he's finished, come to the Premier League, and he couldn't show himself. But I feel like you put him next to a good or decent back line, you started to see the best of him. He started to lead that Man United defense, and they're starting to look good at the back. They really are starting to look a bit more sound, and I think that's because Rafael Varane's there. I think he leads by example.
Huh? Wait, why is Lokonga there?
We'll get to that one.
He's an Arsenal player, technically. He's only been at Palace for so long.
Oh, George, you might have to be the funniest person I've ever met, fam.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm just deep. Why is there Diaz in the Rodri pick?
Oh my
Wait,
God.
Cas, what's going on with Diaz and Rodri, bro?
Nah.
Oh, that's not Rodri.
Oh. It kind of looks like Diaz, anyways.
Hold on,
he does. He looks like him.
Rodri or Diaz?
No, it's going to be Rodri, but you know what it is?
It's supposed to be Rodri, but he put Diaz.
My bad, but just pretend it's Rodri, man.
But Rodri, I feel like since Casemiro been doing his team, a lot of people are trying to take away. Everyone's trying to put Casemiro and Partey here and Rodri back down here. Like Rodri wasn't the guy leading the way for the past 2 seasons. They're just staying at this level. I think when players play so good for such a long time, people tend to forget. And that's what Rodri's been doing. Rodri's still playing at a high level, setting the standards, setting the boundaries for where you need to be a top-class CDM. And all these other players just coming in, having a good season now, are like, oh yeah, they're better than Rodri, because it's the next new thing. Rodri, for me, underrated as a Manchester City player because he just goes under the radar. He does his thing. He's not doing anything like flashy. He's just winning the ball back, passing it off, and just doing the basic things very well. And that's what you need in a CDM. So for me, he's up there. Dennis Zakaria, probably due to his chances, he hasn't had enough chances at Chelsea. I didn't really look at much of the Chelsea squad as underrated, so that was a hard choice. I went with him because I knew what he was like before he went to Manchester City. Very good midfield with a lot to offer, but I just feel like he hasn't had enough opportunities to prove himself otherwise. So he's definitely underrated. Bentancur, Rodrigo Bentancur. He's underrated because I feel a lot of people in the Premier League still haven't seen the best of him, or haven't seen him enough to define him as a really good player. As a Tottenham fan, I think he's an amazing midfielder. He has a lot to his game. He shows time and time again that he's a great all-round player, great progressive passing, great he's just great all-round midfielder. He wins the ball back. He can drive up the pitch. He can spray a pass. He's got a little bit of flash and tech to him. I think Bentancur was doing amazing prior to his injury, especially in the World Cup. Went out in the World Cup a bit too early, but yeah, he's had an amazing
one. I don't mind Sakari. I think Sakari is a bit more. So I know you got to go in there. I don't really want to keep it to you. But the last one, Harvey Elliott, please. How?
Let me just go Lokonga, yeah. Lokonga, I just feel like Arsenal have a certain number 6 that shouldn't be playing football. And I think Albert Sambi Lokonga is a great replacement. I think he can come in there in number 6, do a great job, give him the boy, he's going to win it back. And I just think, yeah, Lokonga's a great little player that will go into that CDM whilst the other one's away for other things, as he should be away, really away. And yeah. So Albert Sambi Lokonga, I rate him, man. Put him in that Arsenal midfield. I'm sure he's going to cook up something real nice. But Harvey Elliott, I actually rate Elliott, you know. I rated him a few seasons ago from when he was at the Championship. But I thought, do you know what? Since he's been at Liverpool, he's not been amazing. I don't like this season. He's not been amazing, but I still really like him. I still really like what he's got about his game. Very good technically. He can move the ball well. I think he dribbles actually very good. And I just feel like he hasn't found the right position in that Liverpool squad.
He's a right winger, isn't it?
Yeah, he plays on the wing, but he keeps playing in cam. He keeps playing in the middle. And I don't feel like he's got the right position in the Liverpool squad to really flourish.
There's no such thing as a cam or a CDM. It's a DM or an attacking mid, like an AM basically.
A central attacking midfielder, central defensive midfielder. It's defensive midfielder and attacking midfielder. It's the same thing.
It's not FIFA. Are you going to say Lam and Ram as well?
No, because Cam is just a central attacking midfielder. That's what we call them. Number 10 is a Cam. It's simple as. But Harvey Elliott, for me, I still think he's a very good player. Great talent. I feel like he can get a lot better as the seasons go on. Far better than Curtis Jones. But he's not bad. I feel like a lot of people are trying to downgrade what Harvey Elliott is, but he has a lot of tech. He came out of this Liverpool Academy and they all knew what he was going to bring. You just got to give him time and he's going to bring that. And one of the goals he scored a few months ago, was it in the FA Cup?
The Wolves goal. Yeah, the Wolves goal.
The FA Cup, innit? Woo!
I remember he's got 2 Champions League goals. Not a lot of youngsters can say they got 2 Champions League goals.
Some have never played a Champions League game.
Saka, come outside. No, I'm joking. I'm not joking.
Underrated. He says Jordan Ayew, perfect player for Spurs.
Don't kill me now.
I big up. Obviously, I know you got to run.
Yeah, thank you. I got to shoot, but look, if anyone's got anything to say about my teams, just get in my DMs and I'll happily answer. It simple as.
That's so shameless, man. All right, I'm gonna go to Mo. Mo hasn't really been speaking. He's been quite silent, so I'm gonna go straight to his team. His overrated team.
Hold on, you haven't done my under. Oh yeah. Carry on.
Wait, man, slapped Grealish in there.
Of course.
Of course he did. He's got an agenda against him. We all know that.
Wait. Why is Trent there? Everyone knows Trent's been shit. So why is Trent there?
Here's my. This list is not.
Go on then, Mr. Eddie Mo.
Yeah, explain yourself. Yeah, Mo, explain yourself.
So my problem with some players is that I can say a player is 8, but if you're gonna come and tell me this guy's world class, he's this and that, he's a 10, he's absolutely fantastic. A player can be absolutely great, but he's not world class. A player can be good, but he's not absolutely great. This list is based on this. Saliba.
So who says Grealish is world class, please? Who?
He's so protected. Do you want me? I'm not gonna start with Grealish. I'm gonna start from Saliba first. Okay. The way they talk about Saliba is that they talk about Prime Varane, they talk about Virgil van Dijk, they talk about Saliba being Sergio Ramos, and the guy has had good half a season. And I'm like, can we at least wait? Sometimes even Arteta is criticizing him. Sometimes the way they talk about him is that this is the next big thing, and I'm like, can we wait at least to say that this guy is the best center back to play and he's going to be the next big thing? At least give him some time. The way Arsenal fans talked about Saliba in the beginning of the season is that I'm seeing the leader on the pitch. And I don't think Saliba is a leader. One of the things that Van Dijk did and Diaz did at Man City is come in and change the shape, not only on tackles and stuff, leadership. And I don't think Saliba is that guy. I think Gabriel has been underrated. People are not giving Gabriel enough credit for what has happened with this Arsenal defense. And that's what I say. He's a little bit overrated. He has been a great defender, but he's not there yet.
Oh, they're calling you low now, man. Damn.
That's the big six man's thing.
I think it's true then, man. But you can't call him low, man.
So,
Thiago
Silva. Let me go on Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva won the league with Milan, went after the money, built his whole legacy on Paris Saint-Germain team that wins the league every year. It's so easy to choose the money and go to PSG and win the league.
Not Milan. Huh? Not Milan.
So he won the league with Milan. He won the league with Milan, which was good. He was a young center back at that time, 22. But then he is one of the greats in the game. He is not. You built his whole legacy in a PSG team that is so easy to win. You played for Brazil and lost 7-1 against Germany on your ground being a captain for that team. Didn't lift the team, didn't do anything. You came to Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel, the first thing he did, is tighten the defense with everybody. The team was leaking goals. Thiago Silva came. Thomas Tuchel switched to 5 in the back and they tightened the defense. I think Thiago Silva is a good defender, but I don't think he's at the level of the Nestas, the Cannavaros, the
Thank you.
He is not one of these guys. But the way they talk about him is he's one of the greats in the game. Right? Like I don't like this. We're really putting everybody that won a Champions League. Everybody that won a Champions League, we're putting them the likes of John Terry, Rio Ferdinand. He's not. His whole legacy is built on a 9-year PSG career. I'm not gonna sit here and assume that PSG should not have won the league. Did he win a Champions League at PSG with a super team? That Cavani, he didn't. Did he lead? He was captain, by the way, in PSG. They didn't win the Champions League. So why are we saying that this guy, Van Dijk, won the league, won the Champions League, being the leader of this Liverpool team? Thiago Silva played in a much stronger PSG team and didn't win the Champions League. And he actually lost the league twice, I think, if I'm not wrong. To a weaker.
He is for his age.
So for me, why are we putting him in this conversation?
Fuck the age thing.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear that.
So now
you can't hear me. You can't. Oh, you can hear me now.
I need to fix my. I'm gonna keep talking. Or you guys?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Just keep going. Yeah.
Grealish, big fish in a small pond, small fish in a big pond. He's so protected from the fans. To be honest, it's very, very.
All right, so Mo, thank you.
I feel like Jack Grealish was an amazing player at Aston Villa when he was allowed to do everything, but this season he's limited on the side.
He can hear me. He's just proven to trying to not hear me. Mo,
I can't hear you. So I can't hear you, Daps. So let me just fix this.
Kas, so it's fine. Mo, I'm going to talk while you listen. And if you can't hear me,
right, I'm
not right. In the WhatsApp group,
we'll translate. Daps, we'll translate.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Right. So earlier on, when I saw you put Grealish in our WhatsApp group, I said, "Are you meaning all fans, or are you meaning Man City fans?" And you said, "No, I'm not meaning Man City fans."
I said
you just
some
came
people
on here and said that he's defended by Man City fans. So
did I just say that? No. But let me give you an example then. Kas, for example, every time I talk about Jack Grealish, Kas comes to his defense. Every time I try to talk about Jack Grealish, Kas says,
like Jack Grealish.
Exactly. So see that not only him and on the football terrace, I try to talk about Jack Grealish and Terry is like, but he does this, but he holds the ball, and I'm like, he can do that, but I think to play for Man City, this Man City team, I hold him to really high standards because of Pep Guardiola.
Pep holds us to high standards.
Exactly. But I think even Pep, and people ask me, so why does he play him all the time? Number one, in my opinion, he doesn't have an option on the left that is so exciting. Foden has been in and out. He has been in and out, Foden, and he had his problems. But I think that Jack Grealish is protected a little bit because of the price tag, because he's the English player, the face, and he does a lot of good things outside the pitch. So I think there's a little bit of like a protection there.
You know, Pep's Mo, you know Pep is not that guy, right? You know he's not going to do that.
I don't know.
We cannot replace him. We cannot.
But anyway, I think Jack Grealish is a good player. I don't think he is. I think Martinelli is a better player than him. I think Saka's better. I think Rashford is a better player than him. I think
Rashford's a better all-round player than Grealish.
There's no way. No, Jack Grealish.
Not really, but I think Rashford has something that is rare. So Rashford has something that is rare in football, which is scoring goals. That's his why. Like this
that's
is something that
completely different players.
It's basically like Mo Salah.
They're totally different players, to be honest. Like I think actually Jack Grealish
is like Mo Salah then, because even though like Rashford's got like 9 assists this season, people don't realize that. And he scores goals. What's Salah's job? What's Salah's job in Liverpool? To be fair, it was literally go there, go score goals.
Score and assist. Salah had a lot of guys. Salah had a lot of assists, guys.
By the way, Monts, I think Salah's a better football player than Rashford.
So let me say the same way I talk about Grealish is Kulusevski. These Tottenham fans coming in and saying he is the next big thing. Some of them said he's the best player in the league.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Exactly. Mr. Gattuso exactly said it.
I like that one.
So also, yes, Kulusevski flopped at Juventus. He's a good player, but is he the guy to take you to the next level? I don't think so. They will need like, he's not Son at his peak. Son at his peak was absolutely immense. Trent, for me, the people that said he's the best right back to play in the league, I think Trent is amazing in passing. I think he's amazing in maybe seeing the pitch, but being a right back, you need to be able to defend. You need to have a little bit of speed, and he doesn't have speed. So I think he only works in one system, which is the system that was created for him to be the most creative player in the league. But if you take him, for me, the player that they talked about is a player that should be put in many other systems and work. And I don't think Trent can do that. This is one of the things. Like, I think Trent worked in that system and thrived and was one of the most creative players. But for the way they talked about him is that this is Cafu prime. And I think there are ways.
I can't lie. I think Trent, for me, and I don't know why I'm backing him. Monts, help me. I can't lie. For me, Trent's a generational right back, man. And just because he's having an off season, but the whole team is, you know what I mean? Like, I just.
So is he quick, Kas? Is he? Can he?
So quick. Cafu wasn't quick either, G.
Okay, so now Cafu was quicker than Trent. Is he good positioning? Is he positioning good?
Don't get me wrong. Trent defensively is suspect. But his
his game is gone, Kas. Half his game is gone.
His attacking output was better than Roberto Carlos's output, and he was known as an attacking right back. And this is what I mean. I've never seen numbers for a right back for Trent, and he was doing it. Don't get me wrong. He was doing it since he was straight in the team. By the way, straight in the team. Maybe
can I ask a question? Can I ask a question to Monts? Monts, can Trent dribble?
Hold on. Trent's been poor this year, but Trent has been doing it at the highest level for 4 years. 5 years, actually. He's been doing it for 5 years, bro. Been doing it for 5 years. You're talking about this.
I'll tell you the difference. I'll tell you the difference between. So Kyle Walker.
He was lightning quick. No, he wasn't. He was quick, but he wasn't lightning quick.
So let me tell you the difference. Kyle Walker, Man City fans said that Kyle Walker is absolutely great defensively. He's so quick in recovery. He covers our defense. He's essential. I didn't hear a Man City fan telling me that Kyle Walker is the best right back to ever play. But I heard a lot, and you know who I'm talking about. I heard a lot of fans. Talk about Trent as the best right back to ever play the game. And that was a lot of fans.
Yeah, that's a mad thing. That is a mad thing. That one's a mad thing.
And you know who I'm talking about. And there was a big, tons of people that said that. And I'm like, you really think that a right back that cannot take on a player like the likes? I seen the likes of Danny Alves and Maicon play football, bro. Can take on a player, can dribble, Maicon, can score. Yeah. Like, these are the people that maybe one season wonders, yes, like the likes of Maicon.
Trent in his late career could probably sit in, in his late career, he could probably fill himself more inside. Imagine Trent doing it. Imagine Trent doing the inverted role, by the way. Just imagine.
Maybe. Exactly. Maybe.
Arsenal and his creativity from it is ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Overrated. Overrated is for you to come here and tell me, oh, this guy is the best to play in this position. I'm like, really? Do you really mean it? He can be a great player. I would like to have Trent on my team to win crosses.
Where is Daps gone?
I have no idea.
I needed to get some Jaffa cakes.
Mo, just quickly, I feel like we know Trent is suspect as a defender, but I think for me, what we also do is, as well as the same way Liverpool fan base did supremely overrate him in terms of legacy. So they were putting legendary status on a guy that was 22 years of age. Obviously, that is a mad thing. I'm not.
I once. Roberto Carlos, was he any good at defending, Mo? Be honest.
It was okay. He's not the greatest.
Oh,
but again,
okay. Oh, okay. And is he legendary?
Let me tell you the difference. Let me tell you one thing that Roberto Carlos has. Let me tell you one of the things that it's not only about defending for Trent. I think Trent as a right back doesn't take on a player, is not quick in pushing the ball can he take on a player, Trent? Is he good in dribbling? Maybe you can enlighten me.
He's not got fast feet, but he's not the ball passer. He's not made enough players, bro. This is what I was about to say to you, Mo. This is what I was about to say. Yes, we overrated Trent in terms of the legacy thing. We overstepped the mark, yes. But I think what fans also did was they put a magnifying glass on Trent.
Oh, flip's sake! I put.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. You're right.
They put a lens on Trent. Even if Trent played 7 good games defensively, he'd have the one howler after playing good for 7 games defensively, and all of a sudden, he's shit.
100%. I agree with you. 100%. People were putting
But that's what I'm saying. He's a good defender. I'm not here saying he's a good defender. I'm saying he's average on his day, an average defender. An average defender, and he has very bad days, and you can't get the better of him.
That's my point of
as Roberto Carlos.
The same that goes for Trent for me is that I don't think he's a bad
Dani
back.
Alves used to get his ass handed to him.
Can we move on?
Okay, so Dan, Rashford is the same as Trent for me. I think he's being held at a place that he's good player, scores a lot of goals sometimes.
No, please, Trent's won it all. Trent has won it all. Do not put him and Rashford in the same. Trent has won it all at a younger age in a shorter time. Please, do not do that. We won't be doing that.
So
do you know what it was? Ever since Rashford handed Trent's ass to him in 2019, Trent just got hot and won it all. So please.
Yeah, let's move on to Daps' list. He's got Romero, Martinez, Smith Rowe. I think a lot of these players have been spot. Obviously, Darwin, Polina now, Kai Havertz, and Calvin Phillips.
Darwin,
I want Daps to talk about Lisandro Martinez. Tell me, why did you put Lisandro Martinez there?
I put all of these in 6. I had to do it in like 20 minutes.
To be fair, you did it quickly. So Romero and Martinez are both in there for the same reason, right? And I'm not saying either of them are bad, but for me, Tottenham fans last season, after I think 24 games, were saying Romero is a Rolls-Royce defender, right?
Yeah.
Now, if people want to go back to after Diaz's first season at Manchester City, his first season was great, by the way. I believe he won Premier League Player of the Season that season. But I was saying I need to see more of him. We can't have the fact that Van Dijk has been doing it for multiple seasons and people are still saying, yeah, but he hasn't proven it enough yet. But then after one season with Diaz, I was like, we need to see more of it. Same with Romero last season. The same with Martinez this season. Martinez does look like a good defender, but
he's won a trophy at least.
Okay, cool. If that's what it takes, then great. But it's one season. It's not one full season yet as well. And so we need to see more. That's why for me at the moment, with both of them, they were rated way too quickly. Kai Havertz, the fact that he's had 4 years, he's still being rated where he is, and it's like 4 years in. Smith Rowe, he's in there for me because he's 22 years old now. He's not 21. He's not 20. He's not 19. He's not 18. And it's the same thing with, it's hard, by the way, with Arsenal. It was proper hard. I struggled with Arsenal.
You know why you put Phillips in there?
The reason with Smith Rowe as well is just that, I don't know, for me, he can prove me wrong, by the way. He can come back and prove me wrong. And I'll happily, but at the moment, the level Arsenal are moving at, when they're like, but when Smith Rowe comes back, I'm not putting him in over anyone that's in that Arsenal team at the moment. So, and then Calvin Phillips, for me, I don't think this is our fan base. I don't think our fan base are overly. It's more for starters, England. He starts every fucking game. And the fact that he's even at Man City. The fact that Calvin Phillips is at Manchester City, to me, overrates Calvin Phillips. Yeah. And as for Nunez, by the way.
And what about Paulinho?
Oh, yeah, what Nunez?
Oh, Paulinho. Yeah, and as for Nunez, I spoke on it earlier on. Again, I still think Nunez might come good. Don't get me wrong. I still wondered that Nunez might score against us at the weekend. But
I have a feeling we're going to be saying this for 3 years.
He probably will. But with me, it's more that Liverpool fans can't just kind of. If Liverpool fans say, you know what, we're going to give him time, just give him time, he's going to come good. No problem. It's the Liverpool fans out there that are actually trying to find ways to like say that he's actually good now and doing really well now. And it's like, nah, come on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on then. We're going to go back to Monts'. We're going to go do the underrated. We're not going to talk on it too much. But this is actually Monts' underrated. I'm kind of surprised by a couple of these choices.
Yeah.
Did I put him in mine as well?
Which one?
I think you did. Yeah, the one you're thinking about, Daps. I think
Bruno.
you did.
I put Bruno in mine as well.
Yeah, you did as well. Yeah.
I think your fan base underrates him.
Holy shit!
Oh, it's great man to think alike, man. Who do I start with? I don't know. Who
Ketia, please.
I like the Kepa choice. I think that's a good choice this season, especially one of the best keepers, I'd say.
Kepa for me, after what he's had to go through as a Chelsea keeper, after what he went through in the fan base, after the cup final where Tielemans scores the banger, and everyone just decided to blame Kepa for an absolute world beater of a goal to win the game. I think Kepa was just the easy way. Apart from Kai Havertz, Kepa was the easy way to blame for Chelsea's mishaps. You know, he was the scapegoat. And this season, Kepa has actually stopped Chelsea from being in a relegation battle. Like, let's not even beat around the bush. And after the hate he's got, the whole Sarri situation, I think the way he's came back is really good for him. I think he's slowly starting to pay back his price tag. And the way Mendy was being lauded as one of the best keepers in the world, some said the best keeper in the world, like to come and displace him the way he has done, I think isn't really looked upon enough. So that's why Kepa's there. Does anyone disagree with that? Or
no, I think it's a fair assessment. Ganzo here says in his overrated. I'm surprised no one's got Sterling there, but for this season. But I don't like the Sterling slander. Nketiah though, that's a
like towards just before Nketiah got his injury, when Arsenal went on the 4 games without a win, they went on their run when they held back shots from City, Everton, and them man. Like people just decided to blame Nketiah when Martinelli was stinking the place up, bro. Stinking up. And rather than blaming Martinelli, they were blaming Nketiah because Martinelli links up with Jesus better than he links up with Nketiah. But Saka links up with Nketiah just as well. Like Saka's performances weren't dropping. But Martinelli's was. So for me, Nketiah came in and was scoring goals. And he actually became their top scorer for a minute. He done exactly what he needed to do. That if they win the league, that Man United goal to beat Man United was at Old Trafford. No, at the Emirates. That goal to make it 3-2 is one of the biggest goals. That's there with the Jorginho one, and that's there with the Reece Nelson goal. That one he gets against United. Do you know what I'm saying?
So you're thinking Nketiah can thrive in a top 6 club? Is that what
he is at the moment?
It's wait, man said I didn't rate Nketiah. Bro, I hate when man just say I didn't rate Nketiah. I
can't lie. You put Nketiah in this Man United team, we'll probably be a lot more points than we are now.
Bro, I've been since last season when he scored the brace against Chelsea. Don't ever say I didn't rate Nketiah, bro. Go watch my content. But Nketiah, obviously for me, I just think Arsenal fans underappreciate him. For me, and he come in and done the job he needed to do. So
I like you put Gundogan in there. I think that's a sick choice, personally. I
think
Gundogan. Gundogan reminds me of Michael Carrick, not in terms of playing style, but Michael Carrick was very, very underrated. No one spoke about it. Gundogan, no one ever speaks about him. It's Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo, isn't it?
Hot take. Gundogan's a better footballer than De Bruyne. Hot take. Always has been. De Bruyne is a better player.
Bro, overall footballer.
As a footballer,
I disagree with you. The guy is. Bro, I've always said, that, and earlier on DR, I did my buy, sell, keep, right? And with me, I want Gundogan to stay because I think in the summer we will bring in a new central midfielder, right? But I think it's essential to keep Gundogan there, maybe on a year extension as captain first. Not as captain, sorry, year extension, give the captaincy to Diaz, but keep Gundogan there because I think as far as football brain, he has the highest IQ at Manchester City for me. He does.
Oh my God, the disrespect on Kevin De Bruyne's name in this channel is
bro.
Mad, bro.
With De Bruyne, I'm not saying Gundogan's a better passer of the ball than De Bruyne. But
a better shooter, a better dribbler.
No, but I just said he has a better football IQ for me.
Okay, that's just one aspect, but
I don't know. Listen. I think the IQ one.
It's a good shout. It's an okay shout, but I think
as a footballer, bro, I've spoken to man that have played against Man City, bro. I've spoken to ballers that have played, and man them don't say, when the question's been asked, who's the one at Man City where you go, fuck? Is there any point? Is there actually a point? Yeah, and they don't say KDB. They say, bro, it's Gundogan, fam. He is different. Like, you cannot touch him. You overcommit, he's going to spin you. You step off him, he's going to thread a pass. If you jockey him, he's going to beat you on the dribble. Bro,
I like Gundogan though, but I think KDB is a different maker.
Like, obviously, KDB is the better player. But I think in terms of KDB, KDB is like a 9 he's like a 9.9 in certain aspects in it. But in other aspects, he's like a 7. Gundogan is like an 8 in almost everything.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But KDB, because when you excel at more things, KDB is obviously the better footballer and will be held in high regard. But bro, Gundogan is a elite.
He's an amazing player.
Elite.
Elite. Yeah.
You've also got to remember he's been very. I mean, look, the season we won the league, I think it was 2020, 2021 when De Bruyne got injured. Yeah, when De Bruyne got injured and he stepped in as a false 9 that season. Last season, crucial goals, and I think Pep goes with him a lot because he just knows how to play the game. He knows how to play Pep's system well.
He's played. I'm pretty sure for Man City, he's played DM, CM, Cam, and false 9. And when he went false 9, he was just as good as De Bruyne. Argue with your aunties. Go argue with your auntie that lives across the road. He was just as good as De Bruyne in that false 9. Davinson Sanchez still has grass in his teeth. How about that?
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything.
Oh, man,
where are you finding these? Right, go on, move on. Højbjerg.
Højbjerg. I just think Højbjerg has been when
Basuma Monts had him in the overrated as well. Did he?
No, that was Jordz.
No, that was Jordz. He's their own fan.
The Højbjerg thing.
Jordz' takes, man. Jordz' takes.
The Højbjerg thing is just that, like, everyone thought Basuma was just gonna come in and it was the end for Højbjerg, innit? It was just the end, and then Basuma just ended up turning into dust. And Højbjerg has stepped up and he has been all right this season when partnered with Benzema.
That's a myth, man. Basuma, Man United need to cop that guy if they don't want him no more, man. That guy's serious.
Bruno, I'll move on from that one. I'll keep that one quick. Bruno, for me, Bruno has been very good this season, innit? I think the way Ten Hag has simplified his game and reduced that erraticness from him, I think for me, Bruno has quietly gone about his business and been one of the best 10s in what he's been doing. I'm not gonna say he's the best or anything crazy like that, but Bruno has been, I think, him and KDB have been like that.
I mean, it's all right. Like, overrated as fuck, in my opinion.
You know what I'm saying? So, and also, bro, and I also think that Man United team don't tick, innit? That United team. Do you think United tick about Fernandes? I don't think so.
No, we don't. It's a shame.
And how about this? He still, for me, gets more slander than he does praise, even though your team don't tick without him. So
yeah, it won't tick without Martial.
Simicast, 4 assists and 6 starts. Robertson's been average. One more.
Yeah, run it. I got the names right this time. I put underrated. I think Nathan Ake is severely underrated, especially from this season. They still don't get props, and I think he's been the best left back in the league. Not Zinchenko. That's what you call overrated, by the way. Zinchenko, bro. Like, honestly, you could say he's rated. Actually, fair enough. I think he's rated, but for me, then there's Nathan Ake. He's been just as good. He's been just as good, if not better. I like my defenders to actually defend first.
Yeah, Ake can defend better than Zinchenko.
Yeah. So you can talk about that, and he can pass just as good. No, maybe nearly just as good.
You're stretching it.
No, he can. Even Ake's game has been ball playing his whole life. Bro.
Yeah, no. Listen, I think Pep has improved him a lot.
Yeah.
Pep's improved him.
He's improved him enough to carry Van Dijk at the World Cup, to be fair.
Zinchenko's definitely better going forward, though, of course. Of course he is. That's his natural game.
Zinchenko is way better.
I put Fred in there. I had to put Fred in there. I think he gets too much slander. Everyone knows Fred can give you this. I know he's never going to be that, as in top scale. But for what he does and for his jobs he's been doing, amount of flipping man in the matches this guy gets, he can never get props. The guy's got like over 10 GA this season. And when you look at his actual goals and assists, each one of them are wicked. Bottom right corner, the foot right foot against Barcelona. No one expected that. An assist, I think, last game as well was wicked as well for not Fulham, not the one before that in the league. There's been better. Like Fred's coming clutch. I'm not saying he's been the best thing ever. So yeah, I think that's why. Nathaniel Chalobah, I think he's again another guy that just doesn't get props. I don't know why he doesn't get game time. Sometimes he play right wing back. I think
oh, you put the wrong Chalobah.
Wait, what?
Someone just said in the comments it should be Trevor.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Trevor Chalobah. Yeah, it's Trevor, isn't it?
Trevor.
My bad.
See, Lord, you needed a Trevor video. You needed a Trevor thing, bro.
Yeah, Trevor. Or you could just do a trigger. My bad. It don't matter. I'm trying with the names. I don't know Chelsea all like that. But okay, Trevor Chalobah, my bad. Sick player, I think. Underrated, 100%. I think he's better than Koulibaly. Gabriel, why I say he's underrated, yeah, is because he doesn't get as much. Now he's starting to, I think. But I think he's been Arsenal's best defender. Am I lying? Most people pick Saliba, no?
Yeah,
I like Gabriel. I like Gabriel.
Throughout the course of the season, he's stepped up.
I think it's a great partnership, to be frank with you.
Yeah, I like Gabriel. He's been very under. He's not even picked for Brazil, and he doesn't even get a look.
he took that personally, and the second half of the season especially. Yeah, you took that one to heart.
Like, I think like they're just really underrating him. They're not even like looking at him. He's not even in an initial list and shit.
And this is what I'm saying.
How old is Gabriel?
Like 23.
23.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that doesn't get spoke on enough.
Yes.
Like, people look at the mistakes he made maybe last season and the season before, yeah, and were like very critical of him. But the fact is his age. And when you look at that, when you look at him and Saliba together and you look at the age of both of them as centre-backs, yeah, you know what? Even with Ben White's young as well. So the three of them, you've got to look at their age and think that is solid. And I think as well with Gabriel and Saliba, I think they're just.
Oh no, he's 25. He's 25.
You know what? Do you know what, Daps? It's all about how the fans want to take it. Like Saliba scored 2 own goals. Saliba scored 2 own goals, and they're just like, it's all right. But Gabriel makes one mistake, and they're like, get him out of my club.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And the fact that Gabriel doesn't get picked for Brazil tells me everything I need to know about Martinez and Argentina, then, isn't it? It's some favoritism. It's just favoritism. And then Ollie Skip again. He's come into the mix, got thrown into the deep end. I actually think he's definitely their best DM. Because Højbjerg isn't a DM. He's an 8. He's been playing 8 stuff, so I think he's a DM. And I think he's a wicked young talent as well. I think he's like 22. So yeah, I think Ollie Skip's got a bright future ahead of him. Doesn't really get props even by their own Tottenham fan base, which I kind of find weird. And Darwin Nunez, I can't lie, I'm saying it. I think he's underrated, man.
What? So no more Darwin Nunez?
No, of course it's going to be. But what's it called? I'm just saying he's underrated because when you take him out that Liverpool lineup, when you take it, I get it. Look, the midfield is garbage. The midfield is garbage. It's not going to exactly supply him, are they?
He's got the most big chances missed. So what's garbage?
Okay, but Darwin Nunez, as soon as you take him out of that lineup, I feel like it's flat.
No, that makes sense. But you can't tell me the midfield's garbage because you was about to say creating. You was about to say the midfield's garbage. What are they creating for him? But then I was going to say
he's got the most big chances missed for what you've created. But
he has the most big chances missed. The most.
Yeah. That's fine. I still think he's underrated. I still think he's quite underrated. I think because of slander that comes from your way, I think that's what.
Yeah, that's because me and you, bro, we talk to each other every fucking day. So my Darwin Nunez agenda is pushed on you, so you feel like he's underrated.
Oh, YouTube friends.
Compared to the fucking Liverpool fan base.
I think this is definitely the best
thing since sliced bread. I say he's better than Ireland. That's what they told me.
Back to Daps before we go on to Mo. I didn't want to talk on my list for too long. He's got Ramsdale, Nathan Ake, Robertson, Robbo, Højbjerg, Kovacic, great shout, and Bruno Fernandes.
Do you know what? I think for me, and maybe on this one, because I did say what's the context to it, how long's it over, and you said whatever you want. It's kind of a bit of, and for me with Robertson, it is the fact that I know this season he might not have been as good, but I don't think he's been stinky this season, right?
No, he hasn't.
But I think how long he's done it for. And again, with Liverpool, I was looking at underrated, and the problem is Liverpool's fan base rate all their players so fucking highly that it's hard to come up with an underrated one. So for me, I just think Robertson maybe, Liverpool at their prime, everyone would go on about Trent. I never really heard so much about Robertson, where I think overall, as a fullback, I think Robertson is a better fullback than Trent is.
Overall, I agree.
Most assists of all time. He's got the most assists as well.
There we go. Most assists and a lot better defensively than Trent. A lot better.
If you used to put Reece James and Robbo into a team, that's perfect. You got the best balance.
Why do you
Chilwell without injuries? Reece James without injuries.
Stop doing the Reece James thing. He's been shit since he's come back from his injury as well.
I'm saying balance, G. I like my fullback to be balanced. That's it. Am I allowed that, Monts?
No, you're not. No, because you tried to talk at Wan-Bissaka, so stop. No.
I think for me, Ramsdale.
I got you.
For me, I think Ramsdale's a bit underrated, to be fair. I think, again, Ramsdale's pretty young, isn't he, right?
I think he is.
Ramsdale's like 25, no?
For a goalkeeper, that's young. Goalkeepers are like bottles of wine, like red wine.
He is, you're right, he's 24, turning 25 in May.
Right, so, and the other thing is, for his age, I think how commanding he is in his area, how vocal he is, right? And I also think one of the biggest things for me with football players is mentality. And I think Ramsdale mentality is elite. He's been
relegated like twice as well, by the way.
Huh?
He's been relegated like twice as well, isn't it? Sheffield United and another team.
He's bounce back's good. Fighter, of course.
And I'm just, look, he's biding his time because I don't know about you lot, but Pickford makes one mistake for England. And for me, Ramsdale takes that spot. It's just Southgate's going to stick with him until he makes that mistake. But I think Ramsdale's good. And I think Ramsdale, once he gets that England spot, might hold that England spot down for
when Southgate finally
9 years, like a long, long time. So, and then Højbjerg, underrated players for Tottenham was quite hard as well. I think Højbjerg, you know what, this season, one thing I do get what you're saying, Kas. Maybe this season he's done a bit more of an 8 role because he's popped up scoring a few goals in that. I just think Højbjerg maybe on Tottenham. I never hear Tottenham fans talking about him. Never hear Tottenham fans giving him any credit, and I just think he's better than It's only Tottenham in it, to be fair.
Remember when Basuma came in, they were ready to forget. The second Basuma came, they were ready to forget.
Let me just tell you something. Højbjerg is better than Bentancur.
Oh yeah.
Højbjerg as a player, both are number 8s. Højbjerg is a better player than Bentancur. But Tottenham fans don't want to say that. Tottenham fans don't want to see that because Bentancur is last year.
I think Bentancur could play under managers like Pep. I don't know about Højbjerg.
Yeah, I think Højbjerg's just more effective than Bentancur, though, isn't it?
Maybe.
And then is that it, Daps?
And then the last one was Kovacic. For me, I think Kovacic is mad underrated by Chelsea fans. He's one that Chelsea fans I don't think give enough praise to. Maybe they're starting to a bit more now.
I love this guy, man.
But I think he's a difference when he plays for Chelsea. Yeah, that's the only issue with him recently has been availability. I think the guy's transition as well is insane. And it's interesting to see if he stays there or not this season. To be fair, because he's been linked
to Man United all day long, man. Please need him. Next, obviously, Mo. Last but not least, this is Mo's. I got it right this time. Ruben Diaz, not Rodri.
Let me start by David De Gea. David De Gea is one of the best shot stoppers I've seen in the last 10 years. The problem with him is that he can't play from the back. And again, everybody wants a goalkeeper that can play from the back. Nick Pope is playing in the best defense in the league, and he cannot play from the back. It's just. I think that he's getting disrespected by the fans. Ruben Diaz. I was talking on the group yesterday, and I said that Ruben Diaz, why he's not in the same conversation with Van Dijk? He won Player of the Year. He led the City team. He transformed the way they defend, and he's the to-go guy in the defense, and he's a leader. I think I think Ruben Diaz is one of the top defenders that we have seen in the last 10 years in the Premier League. He has been playing 4 years now, 3.5. He's been fantastic. I've never seen like a period where he has been bad. Maybe he had 1 bad game, 2 bad games, but he recovers right away. I think it's great. Højbjerg, we talked about him. Kovacic as well. I think Granit Xhaka is the one that is people don't talk about because of his attitude. But I think he's very high intelligent player. I think his left foot is lethal. I think he can play football really well. And in the right system, as we see today, he's undroppable for Arsenal. And every time he doesn't play, they don't play well. I think Granit Xhaka is a top player. And people forget that he's 29 and he has the experience of a 35 years old. I think he's great, to be honest, Granit Xhaka. The one last one is that the disrespect for Firmino from the Premier League fans all over is that people give all the credit to Salah and Mane. And I think the one that used to make all this happen is Firmino. He's an absolutely fantastic, magnificent false nine. One of the best I've seen in my life. His technical ability is absolutely fantastic. And he's given them all the freedom to do everything they can. So Roberto Firmino, for me, was an absolutely top player. And by the way, he dropped some stinkers now, but I think he plays really good when he plays with the right players now this year. Not the Nunez and stuff like. But I think he's absolutely great. I think Roberto Firmino.
Do you want to know something? Do you want to know something?
Go ahead.
Firmino is obviously. You said he gets criticized for his numbers, right? That's the most. Let's be honest. Yeah. Criticism comes from the numbers. This season, he's had 11 starts and he's got 8 goals and 4 assists. So he has more than games.
Nobody talks about that, Monts. Nobody talks about it.
No one talks about it. And he's finished, by the way.
Yeah.
Firmino.
Get him out of my club, right? Get him out of my club. Don't renew his contract.
The one that scored like 5 goals in one game, that one.
He didn't score 5 goals in one game.
I swear there was 2 games where he just scored bare goals and went missing. I like Firmino. He's just rusty now, isn't it?
Bro, he bagged against you, man. Did you forget?
No, but yes, I see it, Kas. It's exactly that. He's rusty a little bit because he doesn't play. He was injured.
And he still has more GA than games.
Yeah, I think he's underrated.
And this is the guy who his biggest critique is numbers.
He's so underrated. He's so disrespected in the Premier League. Like this last 5 years, he's so disrespected for some reason. And I'm like, why? Because Salah got 32 goals and Mane used to take on players. I thought Firmino was absolutely fantastic.
I've always liked Firmino.
He's been our most effective forward when playing. And then it goes obviously Nunez and Salah. But in terms of when playing, it's been him.
You mean Diaz and Salah?
I think one of the things I think like this slander on goalkeepers as well, De Gea, and I think he's a good player. He saved Man United in some games, and that's enough. And that's enough. Like for you, sometimes like if you count points, I think maybe De Gea is responsible for at least 9 to 12 points for Man United this year. And that's enough for a goalkeeper.
There's a lot. You could also say De Gea's actually put us in bare situations where he's actually made us, in the same
try to defend more. Not every goalkeeper. Nick Pope makes terrible. Nick Pope, that terrible passing. Nick Pope, but he has good defenders.
Oh man,
he can't even run with the ball. Nick Pope.
Yes. That's what it is.
Give Nick Pope the ball and tell him to run 10 yards with the ball. He would like fall on his face right away.
Yeah, and I think that's going to conclude today as well. Going for a bit too long. But yeah, man, a big up for everyone coming on. Obviously, Most finally back-ish. Monts is back-ish. Daps is around. And yeah, I'm around too. And then we'll be back tomorrow for Rival Show. With Sean and I think Gooner Lee's probably going to go at it.
And I can't wait for the weekend. Premier League fucking
I can't wait for Friday. I can't wait to fucking finish work and get up to Manchester and we'll see what Saturday brings in it, Monts.
That's where was my ticket, man. We're supposed to go to the game, man. It's cool, man.
It is D-Day today. You have Man City.
It is. We have Liverpool.